All right, here we go again. Kind of cut the last video short on accident. That's an oopsie. But I'll go ahead and review some of the most recent Pro Shop acquirements and maybe take you through just a little tour of all the options we kind of have here. Newest from Motiv is the Primal Ghost. It is the Jackal Ghost cover with the Primal core. And you can see the Primal Rage right next to it. Impulse V2 is the core. Yeah, so a lot stronger of a solid. This one takes the place of the Primal Shock, which had the Venom Shock cover on it, which I just happen to have over here. I like this ball. This was a good, clean, symmetric solid. I expect this to be a lot more rounded, symmetric solid, similar to the Forge. If we take a look at Motiv's ball guide over here, you can see Primal, the Forge right here, very early rolling, very diggy. I got a step down under here for the Primal. This category of balls for Motiv to me usually rolls the best. You got your Venom Shock, Primal, whatever ends up right here. These roll very smooth but strong. Early rolling and strong. So new addition to the Motiv line. We'll see how that pans out. So from the Brunswick, we got the Mantra Solid. I believe the Mantra Solid does not have HK22. HK22 generally gets your balls a little bit further down the lane, a little bit more pop on the back end. So I expect this to be a good smooth rolling asymmetric solid, but not the highest of the high end, not the earliest rolling, not the diggiest. Something like the Ebonite Entity over here would probably be a little earlier rolling, or even early rolling still. Radical Guru, very strong rolling balls. But speaking of early rolling, new from the Hammer brand, Maximum Effect. I have not thrown it yet, but I expect this to be the hook monster. The special effect was the Polished Solid, one of my favorite balls of the year, and also Ric Flair right here. The man, it's probably the strongest polished ball out of box I've ever thrown in my life. I love it. I've thrown pretty good with it. So I'm expecting this to be what you would expect that dull kind of like solid look to roll like, but maybe since it's a hybrid, a little bit cleaner. Comes at a 1500 finish. For reference, so does the Effector. Effector comes 500, 1500. Very early rolling, but smooth and controllable. So I expect this to be early rolling, strong, just a beast. So that's going to be the new beast in the Hammer line, the Hammer Maximum Effect. But also in the Hammer line, the Black Widow Tour V1. The Tour is going to definitely get you some length. It comes out the box at a 3000, but if you can already kind of see, it does have a little bit of a sheen to it. The 3D right here says 2000. This says 3000. I bowled 2 games with it before league and then used it all 3 games for league, and it's basically lane shined already. It looks like it gets down the lane, but man, I will say all 3 games I was able to control the pocket, chase it left. It's a good one. I'm curious to see how it's going to work for some more higher rev bowlers, but to me, that's definitely a go-to ball right there. Very controlled pop. It's weird to say that. That's kind of, I guess, a new term, but you get good length out of it, but you get good shape out of it, but nothing too jumpy, nothing too angular. And I drilled mine pretty strong. So, but again, lower rev, so you get what you get. And last, I think for the Brunswick brands, the Ebonite One Ovation. Now, the One Ovation we have here, hybrid, I believe, polished hybrid. 1500 factory compound. Very strong core. Man, the one reverb was a good ball for a lot of people. So I'm guessing this One Ovation is going to be just not quite as long as the Pearl reverb. But yeah, this kind of cover core combination looks like it's working good for the Ebonite brand. I expect that one to be a pretty good, strong back end kind of monster. Storm, I didn't get anything in this latest release, but I would say probably newest on their group is the RST Hyperdrive Pearl. Hyperdrive Solid was pretty good, pretty strong rolling asymmetric solid. So this one looks like it's got the same core, just going to be very, very strong It looks more rolly than angular so far. I haven't seen too many of them go down the lane, but it looks very strong. If you need a strong shiny ball from the Storm brand, that's probably what you go. Or if you need a Roto-Grip Gremlin. Gremlin, I think, is going to be the same shape, but not quite as strong overall. Might cover a little bit more boards on the back end because it's a touch cleaner. And that's all for the balls. Last but not least, I like these things so much, I'm going to show it in the video again if you didn't see. Have the metal Jopo tool. The twist tool comes in the standard plastic, but I have seen if you leave an insert in the ball, your core swells a little bit. Sometimes it's hard to pop that bottom out there, so I've seen this tool snap right here. Metal tool doesn't look like it's going to snap. Alrighty, I think that's about it. Any questions, just let me know. Thank y'all.